Ha ha. It's just me and Dave. All the jazz bums went on an all expense paid trip to MoFi to tour the facilities.
I thought they were at the Super Bowl.
They're either at the Super Bowl or at MoFi or in Salina, Kansas. They're one of those three. Actually, one of them is in each place.
Okay, yeah. It's a trifecta.
So now that I've changed my stream times to the mornings, I'm here in the evening taking over because the jazz bums all have food poisoning from the Swanson's Hungry Man dinner they shared.
Where'd
Now,
Felipe go?
he's dealing with something at the home. Felipe will join us in a moment.
Yeah, it sounded like a party was going on over there.
No party. He's having home maintenance issues.
Oh, he's got a work crew over there.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I heard people doing something over there.
I mean, hold on. Your guess is as good as mine.
Oh, hey,
All
Fred.
right. Hold on. I'll send you a link. Let me try and figure this out. Now that I'm having to do everything.
Fred's going to have to take over for Mike.
I don't know if that's something he really cares or wants to do. Hold on. Let me
No.
see if I can share the link with Fred. I have to text him first. It's a whole rigmarole. Let me figure this out.
No, that's fine. Take your time.
Boom.
It's early.
Okay, I'm just testing Fred so I can go on my computer and share the link. And if anyone else would like a link, I will share it privately. But you have to okay. Boom. Okay, there you go. That was a success. Yes. I'm who replaced who was the first member of Fleetwood Mac to leave? Was it Lindsey Buckingham? I'm the replacement.
Maslow.
Yeah, and that was a stupid example because of the jazz bums, you fool. It was like the rotating crew at the Jazz Messengers. Okay. Well, I meant the pop version of Fleetwood Mac. No one gives a shit about the blues version.
Oh, Peter Green?
No one cares about that version.
I got a good Peter Green record here somewhere.
Yes.
It's a promo.
No one cares.
What's the one with the wild animal on the front?
No. Okay. This is a little more joyful stream, so be in a good mood, Fred.
Fred's got some professional headphones on.
Hey, this is like trying to pull teeth. We're not no one gives a shit about Rycooter except Mazzy. Hey, Fred, I know you don't give a crap about Record Store Day, but did you have a chance to look at the list? Your mic's off. Your mic's not working.
We'll give Fred a minute to get that sorted.
Wait till Felipe comes up so we can go over stuff. Listen, I'm here every week. So is Dave. The only new person to hear is Fred, which he's been, I think, the last couple of weeks he's come up. So,
and it's just Fred's return. No, the list. I think there were 8 records on there that I was interested in. Only one or two jazz.
Right. The one. It's I feel like we'll go over the list when Felipe comes up. But my initial. Yeah, you're good. You're hearing you. All right. So here's my feeling about these companies that make their nut on Record Store Day, and I'm not a fan of the cash grab. Anyone who professionally puts out a record is doing it to recoup their costs or make money. So the cash grab stuff doesn't work on me. and grown adults have the ability to say, I'm not buying this. So I don't like cash grab. But all these labels that issue these found concerts or found live performances, I wish on Record Store Day they would literally release a album, like a contained non-live album of either found new material or whatever. That's what I wish they do to be different. But that's a wish.
Wait.
Yeah, that stuff's hard to find though.
You really should release a what?
So there are like 4 companies that do the jazz reissues, but they're primarily unreleased concerts, basically.
Yeah.
Like, and although they do a good job with these,
like Residents and stuff.
Residents, that's all they do. Yeah. I really wish there are plenty of unreleased albums. Plenty. They could find a jazz album that is new to us, that's not live, it's not a concert that happened.
Oh, you mean like studio sessions?
Studio sessions. There's plenty of them.
What warehouse burned down with a lot of tapes though?
But there's a tape. Yeah, there's always tapes.
Okay.
I mean, John Coltrane over the last 10 years has received some nice we got the Live at the Village Vanguard, which was Dolphy, but that was live. And then there was the studio
the one that came out in a bunch of different versions. Interaction or what's it?
Hold on.
Or I know what you're talking about. The Lost album. That's excellent.
Interstellar Regions or whatever. That one was a shelved album.
Well, Interstellar
Regions. They did do it with Chet Baker. They did a Chet Baker album that was not released. You know what? I don't care. You know what? Here's one thing I don't care. It's fantasy world. I don't care that you know the record industry and how things work. This is just me thinking out loud. The Jazz Bums aren't here to do deep dives. Okay?
I've given Mike earlier today some deep dive material though, so be ready for that.
All my Coltrane's out of order. I've got like 9 cubes of Coltrane.
Yeah, but I picked up that, which I think is one of the best Coltrane albums, is the Stellar Regions. That thing is fantastic.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I've been looking for that record for years. I found one copy.
I think I spent like $90 on it. So yeah. It was yeah.
But that literally was a shelved record, right? So
yeah.
That's a great record. I mean, I don't know how many of those are out there. I can't say the Resident stuff I picked up one year they did, and this was, I don't know, 10 years ago. I don't, it's been a long time since I've been up for Record Store Day. Most of those Resident sets end up available. I picked up the Dolphy when they did like Iron Man and they did like a three album set.
So it's 2 different versions. They reissued it, but they did a new mastering. So, and a different cover when they reissued.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's been a while since I've got up for Record Store Day. So I don't know.
The one record, there are 2, with the Pharoah Sanders Strata East, because Strata East is making a comeback. They paired up with Mac Avenue, who does good jazz albums. They have other stuff too. And the Pharoah Sanders, the Clifford Jordan produced Dolphy series. It's called the Dolphy series. I have the 3 albums that are contained in that. Actually, here I also have this.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the Jordan. This is a Strata East. It only came out as CD, and this has actually 2 unreleased Strata East records in this.
Wow.
Do you know about this one, Fred?
No, I mean all of those. That's a Mosaic.
Yeah, Mosaic box. So it's
I've lusted after those forever. My friend had all of the CD box sets because he worked for Coda magazine, but he didn't have any of the LPs.
So this is like a $300 box for the CD.
Yeah.
It didn't come out, but here's what the reason I wanted this, because I have a lot of these albums, and I hate Mosaic because the way they make the albums, but there's an unreleased Ed Blackwell album on here.
Oh, wow.
Oh, cool.
Ed Blackwell, Shades of Edward Blackwell. And then...
Okay.
Yeah.
And the disc is just that album?
No,
because some of those Mosaic box sets. The one thing I will say about them is you got to. I mean, some of them are so deep on the alternate takes and stuff that you got to be a jazz nerd.
I don't think there's any alternate takes on this at all. So there are two.
Oh, that's awesome.
So here, obviously, Clifford Jordan in the World. P Vine put out a needle drop version of it. Cecil Payne Zodiac. That is part of the Dolphy series that Clifford Jordan produced. Charles Burkeen Rhythm X is part of that too. The Ed Blackwell, I assume the Ed Blackwell's part of it, but they never released it. Then there's the Pharoah Sanders that's coming out for Record Store Day. Clifford Jordan produced it. Here's the other album that was not released. Wilbur Ware, Super Bass.
Super Bass.
After this I think came out in 2010. After that, another company released Super Bass on CD only, CD. And then it's Clifford Jordan, Glass Bead Games, and that's it. But the the reason I picked this up is those two albums that were never released. And
Kicks. Sorry, I was responding to it. I got excited.
No, go ahead. Respond.
Oh my God! Look at this horrible Jazz Bums panel. Pure mutiny. Anyway, Kicks. I'm sure.
Well, I mean, Elon Musk got in and kicked the real bums out.
This country. Good God. Look at the Jazz Bums now.
This is what happens when you get rid of the fraud and waste.
Jeez, good.
So goodbye. I don't know what happened to him. He took himself out. But getting back to the Record Store Day list, that Pharoah Sanders is a definite must.
Yes.
But I don't think it's exclusive. It'll be available again. And then the Nathan, go ahead.
Yeah, so do you remember when they started the Candid series? This was back when I was still active.
Yeah.
They released a Mingus album, and was it an Abby Lincoln album? Yeah. Their first run. And then they released like a clear version for Record Store Day. And so, I'm definitely not going to go chase the clear version on Record Store Day.
I found that clear one used somewhere.
Fred, exactly. And then they show up. So I just don't fret about it. I don't know of anything that I've missed for Record Store Day that went up astronomically and that I can think of off the top of my head that I missed out on.
Candid's releasing Mingus at Monterey for Record Store Day. That's a 2 LP. So Fred, I don't know if you've ever heard this story, but it's a story I have not confirmed. So this is the version I have. In the late 90s, a lot of Strata East reissues came out. And there's not a lot of information on them. Somewhere on the internet, I read, it's not substantiated, that when Stanley Cowell needed money, he would reissue these records. I have not confirmed that, and I keep saying it, and people think I'm stupid.
You're just perpetuating
it because I have at least 3 or 4 of these Strata Easts from there, and they're great. They sound fine. They're good. I have the Heath Brothers one, so I definitely will probably get the Record Store Day version of this. It's an excellent record. And
how much is that one going for?
Well, it'll probably be $40. By the way.
No, I mean the one that you have in your hand, the 90s reissue. Because the Strata East stuff for me,
25 and.
Oh, really?
Bucks. Yeah.
I love the Strata East stuff, and I can never get any of it because it's,
Well, it's not like these are plentiful, but there's a little initial in the dead wax that signifies that these are these late 90s pressings, but they sound fine and they're good. And but so you can go to Mac Avenue's website right now. They re-put up the records to pre-order. I pre-ordered the Stanley Rouse and the Stanley Cowell solo piano record. They also they're turning the Stanley Tulliver at Slugs into a double LP. You can pre-order all those, and then this is coming out Record Store Day. So that's good. And then there's a Nathan Davis record, which his stuff's impossible to get.
Yeah, that record I've seen go for a lot, like just under $1,000 at times. That Happy Girl.
I've seen that goes up to like $300, but MPS is putting it out. They did a reissue of one of his records. That was good. It was nice.
So. Yeah, in auction settings, that record goes berserker.
Well, all of his records go berserker.
Well, that record got a lot of traction when Madlib showed it off in a video. That Happy Girl Nathan Davis record.
Yeah. So I'm waiting for Felipe to come up before we go over the record store day list because he probably knows shit to tell us.
Mike and Chris not on tonight.
Will that change your feeling about being here?
Well, I just feel like we're posers.
Felipe asked me to come up because I can run things.
Yes, you can.
It's Mike's anniversary, man. He's got an anniversary with the wife.
Oh, well, I thought he might have like a root canal emergency thing that happened.
Mo5 flew him out to Papapapel, whatever that town is.
Sebastopol. Northern California, Sebastopol.
Mazzy, I could show some of these. I went to Noble and went through what's left of the Voice of America collection.
All right, hold your horses. Let Dave.
Go ahead, Dave.
Does he have a lot of Voice of America stuff still in the store?
He does.
Is it less desirable stuff or no?
No, it's excellent. I'll show you what I found because I figured it'd be the scraps, but these are pretty good records.
Fred, do you know anything about this?
About what?
So this record collector got whiff that the Voice of America was liquidating all their media library. Okay. And he bid and won the whole thing. All these like 3 mint copies of every record ever. And somehow the guy he did it to build a jazz collection. He pulled out everything he wanted and then contacted Dylan, your best friend from Noble Records. And Dylan,
I've never had beef with Dylan.
I'm joking. Okay, all right. And he acquired it, and he's been whatnotting it and selling it in the store. I even have a copy because Chris, a vinyl piper, won some stuff, and he threw in a very non-desirable record, and I have it in my possession.
That's good. That's good.
Go ahead. Show
you're a DC. You're a DC area guy.
Yes,
so that's something cool to have in your collection.
Had access to that bidding on it, but I didn't. That guy probably won that whole thing for quite a bit of money, right?
Yeah. So when I went in there, he's not in the shop very much anymore because he's busy with the label, and the stuff he has to do for that, and then going out and getting collections like that. He had to drive a truck. I think he went. It might have been 3 trips up there with the truck.
That's a hard gig.
But he was in the shop, and he walked over when I started digging, and he said, "Dude, I'm going to give you this because I don't know if I can sell this in the shop." It's on the Superfon label from Czechoslovakia. It's a stock cover because there's nothing on the back, and there is he said it is European jazz, and I said okay. I said I'll take it. I'm sure it'll be good. And it is on the Superfon label. Take it out of this thing.
I don't know that label. What is that label?
I don't either.
It's a state-run label in
Melodia
from way back.
It's like Melodia in the Soviet
so there's the label. It's a nice-looking label. The record's in beautiful shape. And Rudolf Jacek is on this on guitar, who's a great Czech guitarist. And you've got who's the guy? Karol Velebny is on this too, which is a great musician. He had a record on ESP disc. He was in this group. Let me see if I can find his other record here.
I forgot about that, Delfino. Yes, the Jazz Hobos are the sub. It's the substitutes for the bum.
So this guy, Karol Velebny. This is on the Superfon label too.
So
SHQ is the name of the group.
Standard jazz, or is it avant-garde or free or what?
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything.
Okay.
A little bit of orchestrated, little bit of free, little bit of avant. Really good players, pretty much all Czech. And Karol Velebny's a vibes player.
By the way, Big Ian is saying it's mostly a classical label.
Yeah, yeah, because it's state run.
Okay.
But But they did do some jazz with these players, and so that's what this is. Tynum Tannum is what this ended up being. It's got actually a different cover than this, but the record's
So
fine.
do you
So
think do you think it has that cover because they sent the record to the Voice of America as a promo, and that they didn't have the cover yet?
Well, he said this didn't come from the Voice of America.
Oh, okay.
He just had it in the shop, and when I was digging, he said, "You're the only person I think would want this."
You wanted to get that mold out of the shop?
Yeah, exactly. So
what kind of jazz is this? Just like straight ahead, like hard pop?
It's definitely avant and free at times, but a big group. Really cool. Good.
That sounds.
So that was nice of him to do that, and he also gave me a couple African 7-inches that he had lying around. One that the record didn't match the cover, but the record's from Southern Rhodesia, and I didn't have anything from there, and the sleeve is from the Congo, and it's really pretty rare. Good stuff too on the record part. So when I got in the bins, this was the first jazz record I pulled. Dewey Redman Coincide.
Oh, I have that.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yeah. This has got Ted Daniel on it on the horn, so that's on the sax. So that's why I picked this up. Leroy Jenkins, Cerrone, Eddie Moore with Dewey. Yeah, so I grabbed this. Didn't have it.
That's a good record.
Yeah. Then you got Art Ensemble of Chicago I found.
Oh, nice.
Baptism. I didn't have this. This is live in '72 from Ann Arbor, Michigan Blues and Jazz Fest.
Mm.
This is the first pressing. This was cheap. These are all cheap too, except I got one record in here that was, I think, 30 something. The rest were all like 20 some bucks or less.
You shouldn't have to. That record shouldn't.
A real jazz bum.
Go for over $30.
Yeah. So this one was cool to find because I didn't have it. It's from
early
on '73.
Probably no bootlegs.
And you got this promo of presenting Burton Green. He did a record for ESP Disc. That's Byard Lancaster right there in the group. So that's why I picked this one up. Byard's on alto and trumpet.
What label is that on?
This one's what is this on? I think it's a 2i Columbia.
Okay.
And it's not a white label. It's a red label, but it has the timing strip.
Yeah,
it's a 2i Columbia. And then this was the last Wayne Shorter I needed on Blue Note. Supernova. This is more of a fusion record.
Supernova. And can we? Odyssey of Isca was brought up a couple weeks ago. Maybe Roberto brought it up.
I was going to say, Fred, that's when we're talking about. Supernova is the one that has Son Chirac.
Okay, I'll re-listen to Supernova, but a couple weeks ago, Odyssey of Isca came up, and I said something like offhand, like, "Oh, that's a wonderful record." And in my mind, I remembered it to be wonderful. I re-listened to Odyssey of Isca. I do not think that is a wonderful record. I know I might get some people are going to say this is slanderous.
Oh, that one gets out there.
Yeah,
it does get out there. It does.
It's the anniversary of his birthday.
Is it? You're just making that shit up.
No.
So it does get out there, I noticed. But when I listened to it last time, it struck me as kind of the last track. They get a little more excited, but it struck me as a little meandering in the first. And I know that it's named after like what are all the tracks named, like Wind and like I can't remember, but I did not like it as much as I used to like it. I'll re-listen again in a few weeks and see what I think. But
might hit you different.
I haven't listened to Supernova in years. I should add that to my.
Supernova is good. Also check.
This is different than the other stuff he did too, because it's a different group with Sonny Chirac, Jack DeJohnette.
Hold on, Dr. Robert, you need to get your shit straight, man.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Dave.
Okay, thank you for letting me speak.
And then we'll skip through these ones that are non-jazz pretty quickly, because I'm just grabbing anything I could find that was good out of the Voice of America stuff.
You hear me, right?
Iggy Pop TVI 1977 live. That's got David Bowie on piano.
Hang on. We still have echo.
Somebody turn your TV off.
Oh, hold on. Calm down. It's Dr. Robert. Dr. Robert. Whatever you have open, you need to close it because we're hearing feedback from us talking. I muted you. Go, Dave. Go ahead and show those wonderful albums.
So the next one, this was the rarest one that I found. This is Negro Prison Songs from the Mississippi State Penitentiary that Alan Lomax put together.
Oh man,
great blues.
What's your Mazzy? Calm down. I'm only mentioning this.
I didn't say anything.
Wait, I'm about to say something that might set you off. So what you're saying, Dave? Hold that record back.
Yeah.
So wait,
someone recorded Prisoners before a presidential figure did.
So they all have stickers on them.
Not on the record themselves, but on the sleeve.
Right.
Yeah,
like on the
outer jacket, they're Jap sleeves.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't like these sleeves, but I'll keep them with these records just because of that.
Well, hold on and hold that up, Dave. Fred, if you notice, the thing about these albums is they still have the filing codes that the Voice of America had.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So the covers, it seems like most of these, the covers are kind of VG-ish, depending how you would label those. But the records are pristine in most cases.
Yeah. Most of these, like I got that David Axelrod record. It was unplayed. A lot of these are unplayed. This one was not in the Voice of America collection, but I was going through everything in the shop. Mulhall Richard Abrams Orchestra, Rejoicing with the Light on Black Saint. This is somebody just showed this recently in our group here. This has got Paquita Carroll and Abdul Wadud, just to name a few.
I think he has like 5 or 6 of those orchestra records on Black Saint.
Yeah. This one was interesting. This one was from the Voice of America. This is one that none of us had ever seen before in my group with like Alex and Dom and those guys. The Giancarlo Nicolai Trio with John Chakai. It's got an art piece for a cover. This was from 89. It was recorded in 87, Zurich, Switzerland. Released in 89 on Leo Records out of the UK. So this one was very interesting to find. Anything John Chakai, I'm gonna pick up. No, not yet. So this one's gonna be tomorrow. Because I've got so many of these records, I'm just getting around to getting through them. And then this is a record this is the one I've had for a while. It's this Joseph Jarman, as if it were the Seasons on Delmark, with the white cover. But he had the first purple issue cover, and I couldn't resist picking this up because I collect Delmark.
Yeah, I have the purple one.
Yeah, so there's 2 purple versions, and this is the first. So I was like, what the hell? I didn't want to leave it behind. That's a really great free jazz record. And then I was going through like the soundtracks, and they had this. This is interesting. This is a percussionist, Stomo Yamashita's Red Buddha Theater, a man from the East.
I used to have that.
Yeah. This is cool.
Is Steve Winwood on that one?
What's that?
Is Steve Winwood on that one? I know he's got some records with.
He did. I'm not sure. He did a Pink Rim. It's a Pink Rim Island.
He did a couple albums with Stevie Winwood and Michael Shreve from Santana under the name G-O.
Right.
And then Automatic Man was, I think, maybe 2. But yeah.
Now, Dylan, after I got all those records, we were in the back talking about some of his releases that he's working on. And he had because he had a bunch of boxes back there, so he got some of the pre-orders in for some of the newer stuff that he's putting out on his own label. And he said, I still have some test pressings of that Jungle Rot album because it came up in conversation. I was like, no shit. He goes, yeah, I'll sell you one. I said, all right. The George Brigman. So I got a test pressing.
Oh man.
Of this I'm not into all the crazy psych and rock stuff that Dylan is, but this one's pretty damn good. And originals are nuts to find. Like just finding one is insane.
Yeah.
So that was cool that Dylan.
Is that out? Is it out already, Priz?
Yeah, I think he already put it out. So he just happened to have some test pressings in the back left. So he gave me that. He sold it to me, but that was cool. I got a couple What did I get here? Oh, I got a couple in the mail this week. This isn't jazz, but it's the rare orange cover of Dead Kennedys. Fresh fruit for rotting vegetables with the poster. And then this, Alex alerted me to this. This was on Instagram of just a message and buy. Albert Eiler bells.
Hmm.
And now I have a 1965 original that's on the purple screen printed record. So I'll show you that, and then this other one's very different. They did these in a lot of different colors. So here's the purple,
Nice.
the one-sided.
Mm-hmm.
When did that come out? When did that come out?
So that's the 65 original, and this happens to be a very rare 1966 copy with the different color cover. But there's no silk screen on this one. This is just a straight green label, and then just plain on the back.
Nice.
So it's kind of a rare pressing.
Do you think they only pressed like a few hundred of these at the time?
Yeah, so I had to get it, and it was a really good price because I collect the label. So that was.
I have the Italian.
You can't have enough of this album.
I have those bass Italian version of that.
Mm-hmm.
I know Eiler. That's not a record I have though.
Yeah,
that's a great record.
It's it's heavy. It's Eiler.
That label though did not do the best
recording. Yeah,
recordings of all time. If you're looking,
I'll tell you this.
But the music's heavy enough to where it don't.
I have a good collection.
It gets intense, so that helps.
I have a good collection of ESP disc records.
Oh yeah,
and I find they sound fine. They sound good. In fact,
you've been doing well.
When you're listening out of a baked potato.
I'm not listening out of a baked potato. I have a tube amp now, Fred.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so go ahead, Rob. I'm done.
I actually found this week. This is probably a third pressing or second pressing.
Actually, that's the first cover.
I know, yeah, but this came out when 66 or something. I think it was
recorded in 62 though, right?
Yeah, but they put it out late.
Yeah.
But I think this is a 68 maybe.
Okay.
But it has the original cover, yes.
Yeah, that's cool to get with the original artwork.
Right. And this sounds, it's not the best recording, I think, but it sounds fine. But
there's a special version of that record. I'll try to get a link to a video for you so you can see it, Rob. It's Mats Gustafsson has it. It's basically a one-of-a-kind item that came from ESP Disc, specific to that release. It's pretty cool.
That's one of those labels. Pretty much everything that they put out is interesting. It's also one of those labels that never paid its artists much. But,
who did? Who paid their artists well?
Well, okay, fair, but
actually, Blue Note did actually pretty well.
No, they did not. They
gave them better. Studio time.
Yeah, compared.
They paid for rehearsal time. They sessions and.
Yeah, but
relatively every other, a lot of labels like independent labels in those days.
Yeah, so a lot of those shelved sessions actually became LPs later and Japanese and stuff. He was paying those guys with heroin, pretty much. There was heroin in the office.
Heroin.
Yeah.
In the office.
But there was I need some money to buy.
Is that why everybody's going back to work in the office?
He would either give the money or give the dope, record a session for me, and just put aside just to give him a reason to give him some.
Well,
that's like saying they paid well compared to if you double 2 cents to 4 cents, it's still looking at 4 cents.
Yes,
you paid well in heroin.
But there's also an interesting. There's an article by Lewis Porter. The guys probably, I hope everybody knows who Lewis Porter is. Has a really nice Substack page, and he has a series of articles about Miles and like debunking. Oh, Miles didn't credit people. Miles underpaid people. So it goes everything about how song credits were shared back in the day, how money was paid, royalties and rights, and how everything worked. And just the leading guy was paid something. Most of the other guys are not paying much, almost nothing. And it was not an artist's decision. It was the label thing. So
it was a session. There were session rates.
I mean, but let's be honest too. Even today, we have people like Jacob, plenty of people that like Louis. They press their own records. They even if they could make, they're not making money putting the records out though. If they go play shows, that's where artists make their money.
So that and songwriting
on tour.
Right. Yeah. Well, I don't know how many people are lucky to get their published
Not everybody.
make a lot of money that way. But I mean, it's
I
don't know that it's any better. The three historic labels that I've heard were the worst were Folkways, Roulette, and ESP. Those were the three I heard were the most.
No, Prestige was pretty crappy as well.
Well,
Roulette was a mafia label.
My point is artists have more control over their these days because they put out their stuff themselves.
Exactly, and I think
they're not making money hand over fist.
Still don't make.
And there were some speeches at the Grammy saying that, guys, you need us more than we need you these days. So stay.
Dr.
Close.
Robert.
Yeah.
Have you read this book by Jason Weiss? I think Rob's got it.
I have.
Yeah, this is Always in Trouble, an oral history of ESP Disc, the most outrageous record label in America.
There you go.
Rob can't read. He owns the book, but Rob doesn't know how to read.
Hey, Fred.
Before Swine. Girls Before Swine on ESP.
Doc, this is great. It interviews every living musician that was on the label.
What year
you
was
get
that?
a perspective from each one on the owner.
When was that? When did that book come out?
It's been a while.
So Tom Rush is in there then.
Yeah, Tom Rush got screwed.
Tom Rush.
Yeah,
Tom
I think he's in here, if I recall. There's some good pictures. There's some good photos.
Right. Yeah.
Tom Rapp. Yeah, Tom Rapp worked in the office.
Hey, Fred.
Tom Rapp went back to law school. He became a lawyer.
Fred, I finally got to see that documentary, Fire Music.
Yeah.
It's on Canopy. If anyone, if you have a library card, typically you can access that. I liked the documentary, but every aspect of that documentary, he pulled clips from somewhere else. The guy, he didn't interview anyone. It's just an editing movie. So, but it's nice to see the artists talk because a lot of the artists in there were long dead. I don't know where
some of the only known interviews.
Well, a lot of the interviews, like John Takai was interviewed, and it had to be before, like the widescreen was like an acceptable format. But it's a good documentary. You learn. I mean, but there's no It's like they pick an artist and tell you a little bit and then move on.
I know. Yeah, there were some interesting decisions there. I think there's this fan base for this type of music that's so hungry for any sort of content that any interview clip. I mean, maybe that's jazz fans in general, but like these people, we get in the weeds sometimes, so I think everyone was just so excited for it.
Here's what's funny about all these avant-garde free jazz guys, right? Only two of the people that were kind of profiled were kind of weird. Cecil Taylor was a weird dude. He'd like dance around and be weird. All the other guys were like just regular dudes, like Noah Howard. Yeah, I went to New York and I did this.
I mean, Charles Gale, he was homeless for a good stretch, but
that was
there's that other movie that's just him.
Yeah, that other movie's better.
It is. It's phenomenal, and he is very well spoken, very well.
But he made a choice to be homeless.
He's the man.
He stayed.
What's the other movie?
I'll find it and send it to you. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never seen that.
There's a
Charles Gale, man. It's got Brotzmann's in it. One of the bass players from Germany.
Brotzmann's
in
the
lot of
Fire
Europeans
Music.
that came over to New York.
Yeah, he's in the Fire Music too.
There's a great
even like the art ensemble of Chicago where they painted their faces and shit. When they're interviewed, they're just going, "Yeah, we did this and we did that." You know,
a lot of folks were out there, but there was a great scene in Inside Llewyn Davis, and I think it represents Moses Ash, who was the owner of Folkways, and he's talking to this guy who would have been Dave Van Ronk, I think, is the main character, and he's basically telling him, "Yeah, I got no money to pay you." And if you look online, I'll just finish. If you look online, I read the Moses Ash, some reason, I don't know, the Moses Ash Wikipedia statement, and they had a quote from Dave Van Ronk, and he's like, "Yeah, Moses never wanted to part with a dime," or something like that.
I think it was more like Al Grossman, because you talk about putting a trio together like Peter, Paul, and Mary.
That was another scene. That's the one where he goes to Chicago.
Yeah, okay, that's the one with Salieri.
Right. Yeah, that's a different. Yeah,
okay.
That one's fun too. But there's a scene with what I think is Moses Ash back in New York City.
Hey, Doc, did you see the Bob Dylan movie?
Oh, loved it. Loved it.
Yeah, same. Do you remember the beginning where they walk into the folklore center and Ronk's in there? That's on the cover of this record.
Yeah. Oh, I am gonna go see it again. I don't remember that specifically, but I love that movie.
Right there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's well done. So well
they just forgot to put dialogues in the movie, right? It's like a huge MTV clip.
I don't mind. Can I show a couple?
Yeah.
I don't have anything new. But this is
you're subbing for Mike. Nothing new.
Yeah, nothing. These are. So this record, I just think is so interesting. It's Jazz at Massey Hall. It's one of the first 12 inches with Charlie Parker, and it's a great band. I don't know if I can show this. This is a blue vinyl stereo copy on Fantasy.
Oh, okay.
This is a reissue. This came out in '62. I mean, the band is Charlie Parker, Dizzy Gillespie, Bud Powell, Max Roach, and Charles Mingus. And they've got Parker listed as Charlie Chan because of contractual difficulties, I guess. So here's a mono copy, also on Fantasy, and that's a red wax.
Fantasy would do red and blue a lot then.
Exactly. Yeah, these are early '60s, but the original.
Yeah, they did that for Brubeck too,
and Cal J.
A lot
of people.
Yeah, a lot of their guys. But this is the one that I am most proud of, and this was on the debut record label, which Charlie Mingus owned. And this is the label off the record. It had fallen off the record, and I haven't glued it back in place. And by the way, the other label from the second side isn't even here. But this was the original that came out in '56. And, Mingus got a divorce, and he gave his record, all of his archives to his wife as he divorced her, and she sold them to Fantasy, I think is the story. So everything that came out on Debut Records, a lot of it, and they call it the Debut series, actually. And I don't know if
they put an expanded version of that record out 2 years ago. It's like a 2 or 3 record that has the whole thing. It's a good version.
Forever, it was a twofer that had both the quintet and the other one in it. Right.
Good record.
Yeah, you would know that. So I'll show one that doesn't have a sticker on it so that Rob doesn't have a heart attack. This is a record I found yesterday in Portland at Little Axe Records. I think I know Mazzy and maybe others on the.
Hold on, Dr. Robert. I'm coming, Elizabeth.
Well, I thought this would be protective. I was trying to be protective.
No, okay. Here's where tomorrow, because I joined the Verve Record Club. That is their first reissue. That record.
Wow.
Yes.
Do you get a pin for that, Rob? Do you get a pin for
Rob
that?
Joined a record club? What the fuck?
Like, comes tomorrow. Some people already have it. Does any of you idiots in the chat have it? Mine comes tomorrow.
It's one that I'd never had, and I've got a lot of Coltrane.
Great record. It's an excellent record.
This is a first pressing mono on Impulse with the Ampar label.
How much did they have it for?
I paid $100 for that, and it's probably not quite near mint, but it is fucking close to near mint. It is in really nice shape. So that's my most recent jazz score.
That's a nice one.
All right.
That's what I got.
Thank you, Dr. Robert. Lovely yellow hat.
That's great. That sounds good to me. Oh, amazing.
This hat, it's labeled Free Bridge Pizza Company in the Dalles, Oregon. And I went there about a year ago, and they have a bingo night on Thursday. And so I'm there eating my pizza, and I joined in the bingo. I fucking won, and I got this hat. I got this hat.
Nice.
So let's stop talking about old stuff. Let's talk about current, the world nowadays. The new James Pennell news. Have anybody heard of it?
Oh, I got the email.
Yes.
You can go stream it on Bandcamp.
Yeah, I had it on pre-order, so it's been shipped.
Do you want me to pull up and show?
Yes, please, Rob. Can you show?
Let's see what it looks like.
Let's get out of the 70s. Oh my goodness.
God. You seem so tortured.
People still put out jazz.
Yeah, they're still coming 2025. Oh my goodness, that's so hard to listen to. The drums don't keep the beat. The drums don't keep time. What's going on? Sonny Murray said that in 1965.
So I streamed a little bit of this. It's quite excellent, by the way.
It's a great record. Yes, there's great stuff coming these days.
How do can I pre-order it? Ooh, it's sold out. Rob bought all the copies.
You can buy on Amazon. You can go on Amazon and buy it.
Amazon.
Hold on. I'm trying to make this bigger.
I guess.
Okay,
are you kidding? I gotta go to Amazon.
The vinyl sold out. God damn it!
Yeah,
you
bought them all.
So I read about it. It's a trio.
Mm-hmm.
They got together 2 nights. Everything's pretty improvised, but it's pretty rocking.
It is. It is a great record. Yes.
I want to blind.
Hey man, find now or cry later, man.
Okay, so I have the answer here for Robert. Is the type of jazz is not boring, outdated, stuck in the whatever?
I kind of don't want to listen to it. I kind of just want to buy it.
It's great. Glad, that's for sure.
I mean, yeah. What was the last one?
How many copies did they have? It just got announced this afternoon.
I'm not sure. No, it was on pre-sale. I will go. I ordered a copy.
Well, I'll wait till it comes. He's going to make these available. All his stuff.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And you can buy them in any outlets. Yeah, it's a great record. I like it as well. So highly recommend it, and I should be on many lists for 2025.
I like the cover.
Did y'all ever discuss, Felipe, the most recent? I don't know how Mary Halverson fares with your fan base, but
I think a lot of people. I mean, there's a I wouldn't say huge, but there's a very big and consistent base for record for those labels like International Anthem, Non-Such, Coal Mine, Mac Avenue. People have been enjoying those labels. Although I think that still compared to European labels like We Jazz, Worth, Jazz Aggression, RGMs, they're still very tamed and behaved. In a sense, I think the European stuff right now is more adventurous, and I wouldn't say adventurous compared to like free jazz or unlistenable stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They just try to take more different approaches. So I'm going to show you one that just got on my Porsche today, and actually 2 records from the same guy. This is the newest one. I'm not sure if I showed last week or not. So that's the organic pulse ensemble, right? This is a one-man's band. This guy has been dropping like amazing records that have really short runs, and they mostly come either on Ultrani from Estonia, from Finland, or on partnerships that are jams and labels like this. So here's the coolest thing about it. So this one guy here, Gustav, he's Swedish. All the covers are recycled. So he flips them, then silk screen. So every single record has a different tonality to the cover.
Oh.
And it's really, really beautiful music. Very open, spacious, Here's how the record looks like.
Oh wow!
This is the new one. It is a run of 200 records. Yeah, of course.
And this is one of the labels that you're saying put out more adventurous stuff.
Yes, so yeah, this is Ultrani in collaboration. Ultrani with Furo and R Gems. R Gems sold these copies. So I'm not sure if they have it right now, but it's called Ad Hoc. But Dusty Groove will receive some of those.
So is Ad Hoc the title of the band or the record?
The record, Ad Hoc. Organic Pulse Ensemble, yeah.
That's a cool title.
Yeah. So this guy is amazing. He does everything. He's a one-man band.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I heard, I don't know if y'all, Junkie NL, I don't know his name.
Yeah.
The YouTuber. He played that the other day. He plays all the instruments in it. I saw it.
Yeah. So he rarely does reissues if he ever does any. There was a second run of one of his early albums, also Ultrani. And again, it's the same model. There's really just arrived today. There's a really nice obi script here, holding the record together. But it's the same thing, which I think is cool. So you don't have to worry about, does it have a seam split? No, it doesn't, because there's not even a seam, right? So same thing, really cool number here, short run. And this is absolutely amazing. I mean, people should really listen to this guy. There's just so many great ideas here. This is how the label looks like. That's it's open. It's that music that kind of is very meditative. It's very relaxing, open, spacious. A lot of wind instruments. Kind of takes you somewhere else. I think that's the whole idea. It doesn't get very crazy. It's very. Is that kind of song that very hypnotic kind of in a sense. I really dig that kind of stuff, and it's really great. So yeah, he had a record on R Gems in 2023, which came with their treatment, really heavy, thick jacket, great pressing. So R Gems releases the records by people like Muriel Grossman and Braja. So it's a really great label from Estonia as well. Another great record that came out last Friday, and I got my copy today, and I truly hope people look into this.
That's a little record.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is the new Ambrosia Kimus here.
Mm-hmm.
It's an amazing record. So his previous one, that Owl Song with Bill Frisell on a trio, it's just unbelievably good. Won many awards. This is the booklet that comes with it. And this record does not come on vinyl. Forget about getting a vinyl of this record, because it has a 29-minute song. Okay.
So
Chad could make it in a double 45.
Do you remember that Tyshawn Sorey album? What was it called? Tyshawn Sorey. And it came out years ago, and the
one with the black cover.
Yeah, and they released it on CD, which is probably and streaming, which is there's these long tracks, and then they released it on vinyl, and they just cut the vast majority of it. I think it was like a 3-hour record or something.
Yeah, it was a monster of a record. Yeah, it's good.
So this album here continues on the trend of our song. Has a string quartet, has voices, has really nice, great rapping with from Kokai. Don't know if you guys are familiar with his rapping, but he raps like singing. It's kind of hard to explain. He raps almost sound like an instrument, like a trumpet playing. It's just beautiful. He raps like in chords. It's amazing. It's a great recording. I think Ambrosia Kimus here. It's probably one of the most talented and gifted and skilled musicians from this generation. And he's been releasing records. I think his first Blue Note was in 2010. Had a couple on Blue Note, and now he's on a different label, of course. He's on Nonsuch. And this is a really interesting record. I think it's pushing some boundaries out there. and it's going to make to the list of many lists of best of 2025. Highly recommend this. Definitely worth checking.
Did you listen to Origami Harvest?
Yes.
He had what's his name? The rapper from Das Racist, Kool AD. Kool AD rapped on that one on Origami Harvest. Yeah. And I loved Origami Harvest, and you could only get that one, from what I remember, on CD as well. That was back when I had a CD player, though.
Yeah. So I find it interesting. I mean, possibilities that are being explored, right? So last year, one of the records that made to my best of the year list was a record called Oxey. It was like a all-star band of DJs and jazz musicians. Is on Backwoods with a Z, which is a hip hop label. Billy Woods,
wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, they put out a jazz hip hop mix record there. It's just amazing. It's one of the best things.
Wait, which one was it?
It's called Oxey. OKSE.
OKSE.
Yeah,
I don't think I heard it, and I keep up with their stuff pretty regularly, but.
Backwoods is great. Any Billy Woods record that gets released, you have to order because it sells out, and then it's a nightmare to get a copy.
Yeah, a few of I sold most of my Billy Woods records for around $200 each, but there's a few that I really regret because now they're like, I mean, hopefully they get reissued, but
Ethiops is still not available, but Hiding Places, they finally reissued last year because it was going for like almost $1,000.
Yeah, Terror Management's on my grail list right now.
Oh, yeah. I've got a brief non-jazz request. Somebody is an excellent typist, much better than I am, but I'm wondering if we could, it's coming through on the audio, if we could mute that. I just asked for that. I don't know who it is.
Hey, Felipe?
Yes.
I want to show you something I think you would like, but when I showed the cover, I got it in the mail this week, and before I opened it, Rob mocked me for the cover. But more than I think about it, I think I want to see if you can get a copy of this.
Sure.
Hold on. Okay.
This is a British jazz piano player, and her it's kind of a kumbaya cover, but her name is Claire Cope. It's coming out in March, double album. She's a piano player, and she's got sort of a large ensemble.
Horrible.
What is the label, Mazzy?
And this is the 19th time he's shown the record.
I have never shown it to.
I haven't seen this record yet.
You showed it on my stream.
I shot on your stream. This is a jazz show. Shut the fuck up, Rob.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, I know. The only reason I talked to you, Felipe, because it reminds me when I first heard it. First of all, it's a little like very early ECM Pat Metheny, but more so, it's like the first two Chick Corea Return to Forever's of Flora Purim, how she sings.
Mazzy
vocals on this, but no lyrical vocal. Well, one track has lyrics, but it's just that kind of when Flora is doing her, Bop Shabada Wah, that kind of stuff, and it's a fucking beautiful record. So, piano player.
That's very nice. I'll go check it out.
So I'm going to write to the PR woman and see if send me your address. I think you should get a copy of this because I know the kind of, it's got a little bit of Brazilian vibe, some of it, but I think you'd really like this. So,
hey, Mazzy, speaking of Chick Corea's personal collection is up for sale.
What?
That's on eBay, yeah. I saw it.
Yeah, it's on Carolina Soul right now.
He doesn't need it anymore.
The whole thing as the whole thing together?
Acetates, test pressings, autograph records, everything. T-shirts that he had for sale.
Who is selling it?
Why?
Carolina Soul, his estate.
Yeah.
We died,
They're doing a consignment. They're taking all his stuff, and it's on Carolina Soul.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Sorry,
pretty
I got upset,
awesome stuff.
But, I just wanted to show, since I had never shown this on the Felipe.
What's the name of the record again, Mazzy? One more time.
What's the label? Yeah.
Well, the label, I've never heard of this label. It's called Adraropa. It's in English. Her name is Claire Cope, Clare, and her thing is called Ensemble C.
Ensemble C. Okay, I'll definitely go. Yeah, I'll reach out to you.
The guitar on the first track sounds like early Pat Metheny, that kind of warm sound he did, ECM-ish. I know people are turned off by some ECM stuff. Some people like it, but I think and it does build in certain areas. It really surprised me because I expected to be, this looks like that Katie Lang summer cover with the backlit light. But the whole idea of judging a record by a cover, I finally put it on Sunday morning, and I played it all 4 sides because I really enjoyed it. So
I thought I was judging a book by a cover.
That's pretty awesome, man. I'll reach out to you about it.
Man, you're lucky, Dr. Robert. He yelled at me for making a joke.
I tried to get a laugh. I don't know.
Hey, can I show some records?
Did you show them on your channel before?
Maybe, probably most of them not.
Okay.
I do want to talk about this one. So I had picked up 2. These are Dave has the originals. I picked up both these early 2000 reissues of this live Sun Ra concert, and these are excellent by a company called Universe. This is volume 1. I have volume 2 somewhere around here.
Looks identical to the original.
Yeah, the reason I'm showing this is because Record Store Day, they're putting out a 6 LP box of this show. So it's 4 more discs that weren't part of the original release. So I don't know what the price is going to be, but this is some, kind of more weirdo Sun Ra.
I like that cover art.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other one is
Is that the one on harmonic or the other Sun Ra?
No. Again, Mazzy, I just said stuff. This came out in the early 2000s.
No, but
this was originally. What's the name of the original record company, Dave? Sandar
out of France.
Sandar. This was reissued by Universe Records in the early 2000s. So
popular cult leader.
Yeah. Okay. This I won in Patrick's auction, and it came today. This is Joe Harriet with but it's under John Mayer. I've seen this guy. This is a pianist, John Mayer. The only other, he's on a John Coltrane record. I saw him live across the street from me, and he's in his 80s. But the reason I'm showing this, it's funny. In 1 week, I've picked up 3 John Harriet records. This is probably his most notable one that was released on Jazzland, and he was kind of at the forefront of introducing avant-garde free jazz in the early 60s.
If you don't show a 2025 record soon, Felipe is going to boot you.
No. And then I found this one. This was a release on Capitol, and it's very good.
You're talking about a 2025 release or recorded in 2025?
No, release. Yeah, most 2025. They're recording 23, 24. Yeah.
When you're finished, I have 2 2025 releases.
Thank you, man. If you guys go on, so just one quick thing, Rob. Today's Bandcamp Friday, which is being most of the stores, they're not doing discounts, but they're using the proceeds to help out with the LA fires. So please purchase current music and help Burn City. Right?
Yeah, all the proceeds go to probably musicians. Does it go to musicians?
Yes, it goes to Musician Fund.
Has Bandcamp sent any money to Palestinians, or is it just?
Come on.
What?
Yeah, no, because it's gonna be a resort and a casino.
Well, they've invested. Yeah, they've invested in the casino.
All electric.
Hey! Listen, the king of the internet showing records now. Shut up. So,
oh my God,
there's a guy, Nick, who's a record dealer. I knew him. He's a hustler. He started selling on Instagram and then created his own website. And he finally opened his own record store here in Thousand Oaks. So I went to the opening day, and he had an OG US pressing of this.
That's a nice
and this
one.
is fantastic. This is a very good album. In fact, I mean, this is from the early 70s, but the band's touring the US right now. Ironic.
Yeah. They have a record they released last Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is very good, by the way.
All I'll say is it's sort of like soul jazz, funk, a little rock to it. It's very good.
This is a classic. They were sampled like crazy. One of the most sampled records.
Hey, Rob, you showed that record yesterday, by the way.
Right, Mazzy, but I'm cooler than you. So I found Brandon had recommended this James Moody record a long time ago.
He sent me a copy of this one years ago, but
right,
I find it kind of noisy. What do you think?
I think it's because this company pressed their records on shitty vinyl.
Yeah.
Because mine's noisy. This one is not, but it's autographed by James Moody.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, there he is, James Moody.
Yeah, I like the music, but I refrain from playing the record too much because it's not very noisy.
With this label, because this one plays pretty good, but the other copy I have is noisy. And I think it's just this company, for whatever reason, pressed their records on shitty vinyl. So.
They did not perceive the mistakes they were making.
All right. Okay, here's a good hint. This record, for some reason, is not an expensive record, and I do not know why. This is a fucking awesome-ass record.
Yeah.
This is Triple Threat, Jimmy Heath, and this is an Orpheum pressing, but it's excellent. And you go out and search for it. It's not that expensive of a record.
Yeah, those are good. One thing I find at Riverside, most of the reissues are much better than the originals.
Yeah, and this is an awesome record. It really is very good. So, all right. I found this at Amoeba. I don't know why. This is on VJ, and has a great lineup. So, and then I found this yesterday. This Hino record. He's mostly playing solo trumpet on it, and it's really good. And some dude, these are rare, and I found this, and I reached out to him. I found out the rare promo CD of Jacob's record.
Oh.
So some guy must have got this as a promo and didn't realize how priceless this is. Why are you giggling?
I'm not. I was something else altogether.
Okay. So I found this. And
I played the CD. It's really good, really well mastered.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Guys, don't touch the grooves, Rob.
My fingers don't leave prints. And by the way, I did show a bunch, but I picked up a bunch of 10 inches. Did I show them last week?
Nice.
I don't know if I showed. Here's Mary Lou Williams, OG on
Yeah,
Emerson.
you showed that last week. So.
Okay.
I've never seen
I don't want to be hey, listen, if everyone can agree, I don't want to be a Mazzy. So being a Mazzy is the act of showing a record on every stream that streams on.
But think about it. You know, when people do their PR tours, a movie comes out, they go on Letterman and they go on.
But you didn't put out the record.
No, I know. But you showcase stuff on different streams you're on. But so.
Why can't
when is your manual coming out, Mazzy? On the internet.
Rob, do you actually think the same people? Well, there are always like maybe 10 people that are on all the streams watching.
No. I say
a lot of people are not.
But as you said, Rob, why can't we all just not get along?
Yeah. All right.
and I'm gonna have to drop off. But I wanted to call out Felipe's comment because I think it was worth calling out. He said they didn't know the mistakes they were making, and I've got to say, that's profound. And if only all of us could perceive the mistakes we make, we'd all be better. So, thank you, Felipe.
Yeah, I'm rethinking letting some people up on the stream tonight.
For example. So, all right. Hasta la vista, guys.
See you, Doctor. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. See ya.
Well, that was nice. Hey, Mazzy, could you show that record again about the lady with the cover and the thing?
It's a good record. It's actually, if you like that, see, Light as a Feather and the ECM I have the German version with the seagull flying.
Chick Corea, yeah.
Korea, yeah. Before they got electric-y fusion. That was more Brazilian fusion he was doing. Those two albums. I love those records. Stanley Clarke, Ayrto.
I'm not.
Beautiful.
I'm not a big fan of Return to.
I know you are. That's why I knew you wouldn't be. But I know Felipe probably is more open to those records. Are you? You like those records?
Yeah.
Those are amongst the, like, I bought those in 72, 73. So those are amongst the first jazz records that I ever bought. So, you connect to something a certain way. I put on Light as a Feather, 500 Miles High occasionally. I just think that's a killer track.
I think a year before Chick passed, he played here at Davidson College up the road.
Yeah,
did a
Romantic
solo
Warrior,
performance.
By the time they got Romantic Warrior, they got more electric fusion, that heavier stuff, which is fine. But I like the stuff before it better.
I like Chick Corea fine.
But I like what's the double one that was on Polydor? I think where he's wearing the military outfit on the cover.
That's more solo, right?
Yeah. But and there's so many hints of Return to Forever in Beaches Brew, right? There's so many hints of that.
Yeah, it's such a good. Yeah, I'm trying to. My not legendary Heart, my Spanish Heart. That record is double album. It's so good, that one. But I just wanted to show these. This
is a good record.
Yeah, I haven't listened to these yet.
I have that. That's awesome.
Yeah, these are the really two new OJCs that are coming out. It's probably too soft for some of the harder guys because it's that beautiful guitar playing of Joe Pass, but especially this one. I have another.
Do you know what Mazba Mike says about that record, Mazzy?
I do not.
So there's
it's killer now.
No, there's a story that maybe the tapes were lost. And like I have an OJC, the original OJC of that, and he claims that it could be in like a needle drop or something. Have you listened to those yet?
I have. They came like an hour ago.
It'd be interesting to see what you think. Is there any kind of disclaimer on it?
AAA lacquers cut from the analog tapes by Kevin Grade Coherent.
So, okay. Mike,
I haven't listened. It literally arrived an hour ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, this is great stuff.
2025 issue.
So the funny thing about Joe Pass, right? How he ended up on Pablo, because he was always there playing with many people, and Norman Granz, he saw him playing live and playing with some other musicians that he was following, and he was like, man, I was not aware how good the guy was. And then he goes to Joe Pass, he brings Joe Pass to Pablo, say, well, you cannot be just like accompanying people, you gotta be like a soloist, so he kind of gave this push for Joe Pass and all his production from late 60s to the whole 70s. That's how he kind of established himself being a super successful soloist, because he was like this shy guy, not much there.
Isn't
Norman Granz gave him a push
on more Pablo records than anyone, almost, it seems like?
Probably, yes.
I mean,
he was Norman Granz.
Ella Fitzgerald, just the duo on that, it's so beautiful.
And he played a lot with Ella, especially all those tours that she did in the late 60s that he put on Pablo. I mean, Joe Pass was always there.
Maybe Mazzy remembers this because he's so much older than the rest of us. But my friend who told me this, Joe Pass had, I don't even know if you would call it a resurgence. Joe Pass's popularity started in the early 70s, where they had him touring college campuses. He was like a mainstay on college campuses.
Yeah, that was like Norman Granz.
I saw him play UC Berkeley, actually.
So Norman Granz pushed him to do that. So that was the whole strategy there. But and by the way, he was Italian. His name was Joe Passalacqua, not Pass.
It's just beautiful stuff. It's not like out there avant or any of that kind of stuff, but it's just really great Sunday morning music, So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I like Montgomery's playing. He had that thing with his thumb, and he played, and he had he was double jointed or triple jointed on his thumb. The way he picked things, amazing. I've never seen anyone play like that.
He had a really unique style for sure.
Yeah, Big Tones is in the comments hurling fastballs at us.
Why are you insulting Joe Pass like that, Mike?
Yeah.
Big influence. He was a big Charlie Christian influence guy.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Just
Montgomery.
by Michael. So Hermeto, I mean, most people are familiar with him. Of course, he's Brazilian. Very familiar with him since I was a kid. He's a guy. He started in the late '60s, and he's still active. He's still playing, and he was very famous not only for being avant-garde-ish type of artist, free playing, but he could make sound out of anything. He got popular for playing even like water boilers, anything. He could blow through that and make sounds. So it's always been someone very creative, innovative, and but he had his own thing, being more out there, more experimental. But he played with a lot of famous musicians here in the US, in Brazil, especially in Europe as well. It's really worth checking his work. It's very rich, it's very diverse, and it's pretty cool checking on Hermeto Pascoal. If you ever have the chance to watch him play, go see him.
Did you like Egberto Gismonti, his stuff, like ACM?
Oh yeah,
stuff?
yeah. It's good.
That's good guitar stuff.
I like that. I know it's not like it's not hip with a lot of new jazz fans now, but it's great stuff.
Bazzy.
Yeah.
Never
well, I mean,
it's like Rob, prejudging just this kind of shit.
Yeah,
it's not his thing.
He's got a bunch of records in Brazil as well. He has that more for Brazilian music. He has a type of like more regional approach, not like national kind of thing. But I think his style plays well with this idea of like this really cool, chill music that goes well with a lot of different other types. And the guy gets requested and play with many other people.
I'm going to throw one more record out, and then I'm going to shut up. I know Rob will love this, but it's a favorite record of mine, and maybe because I think it came out must have been 71 or 72. It was on Vanguard Records, the first album before they went to ECM of Oregon, with Ralph Towner, a Mechanalist, which is kind of, it's not even a jazz record. It's almost like folky classical stuff. But the one on Vanguard, by Oregon, before they did all those records, when they moved to, I guess, Warner Brothers or ECM or something. It's just a beautiful record. There's sitar on it. There's oboe on it. It's really lovely. So
these Towner records here are phenomenal. Solstice.
This is beautiful record.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Love this one. And then Batik or Batik.
Yeah.
This is not much of a cover, but they're good ECMs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, Jacob. What's the question?
Question, Mazzy. Record Shop 67 in New. Well, first of all, in the 60s and 70s, with a few exceptions, new record stores weren't allowed to sell used records. The labels didn't want them. Otherwise they would stop shipping them new music. So the shop that I worked at for a while on Record Factory, which was in an old Bank America building, there was a balcony mezzanine that would lean over into our store, and the owner, I think at that point there were 7 Record Factory stores in San Francisco or in the Bay Area. We rented out to a guy that had 3 shops called the Used Record Shop. So he was upstairs, separate thing completely, but you couldn't sell that. So we would go up there and buy cheap used records that are called cleans, no promos, no markings, buy them like for $1 or 50 cents, bring them downstairs, put them in our return bin, and get a brand new record, because you could, stores could return anything they wanted. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of a little bit of a faux scam there, but you couldn't sell records in new stores. That's why Tower never had a used record section or any of those stores. Sam Goody's either.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question, Jacob?
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I mean, I grew up in the 80s, 90s. I would go to a store to buy new stuff. I never thought about buying used stuff at a store.
Yeah, Virgin Megastore didn't have a used section,
No, but I think it's the sign of the times, right?
Yeah, it's different now.
Different.
Yeah, because labels, you can't return shit to labels anymore.
Most people do not buy vinyl records for their music.
Yeah, we call them cleans. Yeah, like let's say someone goes to is just getting rid of their collection or needs money for drugs or whatever, and they sell 20 records, and they might be an Eagles record for a few years ago, a Beatle record that's came out a couple years ago or whatever it was, and there are no promo marks on it. They're fairly in good shape, but they're used. So instead of like a $5 record, they probably sell for $2 or $3, and we could buy them for $2 or $3, bring them back, put it in our return bin. So I could buy a new record for $2. I could trade it for any new record at that same list price.
Hey, Mazzy, so that reminds me of this story that Teddy told me the other day. I can't remember all of it specifically, but there was a record store in Kansas City back in the day. It's called Tiger or something or other, and it was run by the mafia. And there was a truckload of damaged records going somewhere, so they hijacked the truck, took all the records and put them in that shop, and everybody was buying them and returning them. And I guess Teddy said it took forever for them to get that stock out of the shop, because people would go in there and get a record and then go home and it was crap and have to take it back.
Well, that's the whole thing we all know about cutouts now. The reason those things were cut, because we'd get through a different distributor, you'd get cutouts, some kind, they call them overpressings, whatever, and they were notched or clipped or whatever. The reason is that sometimes you'd get something so new that came out only a year earlier, but they pressed too many. And we might get some that we'd sell for $2, and we might have a regular $5 version in the store still. And the exact same thing, it was clipped. And otherwise, if it wasn't clipped, we'd return it for credit. So the labels don't like that.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think, there's a good point, Mazzy. I mean, again, I grew up going to stores or just buy there, whatever was there. I mean, there was not such a thing like, oh, what's the pressing? What's the year? I never cared. Just, I want to listen to this record here. I found the title great. I'm going to back out and play it.
No one ever mentioned anything about Dead Wax. We didn't talk about Dead Wax or Matrix. The only thing we did, and once in a while, there was an artist that said, All You Need Is Love or Happy New Year in the Dead Wax. They scratched something. But we didn't, one pressing for another, we didn't give a shit.
Who cares? I became aware of Dead Wax when I started buying stuff from Third Man almost 30 years ago, because they always put messages on the Dead Wax.
Right.
Always funny stuff every single Third Man record says something funny on the Dead Wax.
Was Third Man around 30 years ago?
No, it was White Stripe stuff.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, but Third Man, I think it was 2007-ish, 8-ish.
Really?
And
That's a Jack White thing.
Yeah, and they always put funny messages there. Then one day I glanced by chance and that's so cool. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a shame because I remember buying those. I bought Led Zeppelin albums the first week they came out because I was around, and I got rid of my Zeppelin albums in '95 thinking CDs were better. And because I worked in stores, I would play those records not that much. So my guess is I probably had an RL that was played at home 10 times because you'd hear it in the store all the time. You figure someday I'm not going to be working in a record store. I'll play my records then. But it's just, I didn't know in '95 what an RL was or anything. Well,
the RL, you kind of would tell. I mean, it's a bigger sound.
But you didn't think of that. You put your record on, you turn it up. I didn't think of it. That's how it sounded. Yeah. It was you didn't compare it to another version, so you didn't know.
You didn't have. Okay.
Yeah. So speaking of RL, two corrections that we should make. There's a guy. His name is Sean. He's in North Carolina. He's a really cool Instagram page. I mean, I know him for a long time. He collects rock records and jazz records, and he put a picture of his RL this week and was talking about it. Say, this is a mastering thing. Don't call it hot mix because it's not the mix is hot. It's just cut, which I think is great. Stop calling it hot mix. It's not hot. And also in our Steve Gutenberg, he talks about Led Zeppelin. For whoever watched the interview, so that's pure distortion and compression. That's how they got that sound. Oh my God, so genius! Yes, it's distortion and compression.
I love how little interested he was in jazz when
Yeah,
and it's two jazz artists or two white guys.
Yeah, no, and by the way, I mean, you made it really nice and compelling. I really loved the stuff that you said about the video. I think it's
Well, I liked what he said. I mean,
right.
He's himself, and he's not a slick audio reviewer, and I just appreciate that.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
Gutenberg.
He's
Yeah.
a jet, yes.
Oh, yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Hey,
I'm not convinced by Jacob's argument that people aren't interested in new music now, though.
Oh, I think they are.
Would you say people were more interested in? Would you say people were more interested in new music in general? Is the question.
I think so, for sure.
You think that people were more interested in new music in the 60s and the 70s?
No, it's just, I mean, the same crowd
It was new music
and just streams. They would go to a record shop back in the day. That's it. But
the thing is the formats are different, right? Like we're in a collector's realm now.
Exactly.
Can we be real about something? To make the comparison or the suggestion is not the same thing. You have to understand, people have more access to music now than they've ever did. People can get their music out in so many different ways. People who collect vinyl records are such a small percentage of people who buy music. To make this kind of correlation is ridiculous. It's a stupid thing to do.
Yeah, it's just a
Don't yell at Jacob, Rob.
Yeah, I'm yelling at but I'm just saying, most people get their music. That's how they do it.
Jacob, it depends on the store. There are definitely used record stores. See, used record stores make more money on used because of the markup. So a lot of mom and pop small stores don't have the budget to buy new product because they get stuck with it and can return it.
Unless it's like a...
Yes.
Yeah, or it's a major label.
Like Silver Platters or Easy
Stream. And the margin is very thin.
Yeah, it's like
I don't mean to break anyone's heart, but my buddy...
$3 a record profit.
My buddy tells me, who owns a record label, if all the big companies could, they would stop making vinyl and CDs tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
They would. They wouldn't do it anymore. That is 100% universal, all of them. They would stop. They don't want to do it. So that's where we don't.
But see, we're not in the general. The people that the difference is though that like we're buying. Most of us, and especially people. There's people I know, a lot of younger people that don't. They know that Spotify is shit. That this is how artists make money. That they want to buy merch to make money through Bandcamp or whatever. A lot of them will buy the record only as like a token of support. They don't play that record really. The record's
they don't even have a record player.
Yeah, they might not have a record player, or if they do, it sits in the corner and it's some and they really don't bother with it. They know that this is like a show of support for the music, but we're in a different this group of people, even the viewers, we're in a kind of different category than the general population.
No, for sure. But I mean, even people that go to a shop, I mean, they buy a lot of new releases. I mean, the popular artists, they sell a lot of records. They sell a lot more records than Chad sells, And when I see people discussing about releases and this, dude, nobody cares much about those reissues. Like the niche of the niche of the niche. What matters is, what the pop singers, the rappers are putting out. This stuff sells. This has volume, right?
Yeah. The Taylor Swift at one record store day sold 400 copies in the first 4 hours at Lunchbox. 400 copies in 4 hours.
Yeah. Oh, weird. Okay. Side note, not related to jazz, but speaking of major labels and their current issuing of things. So, The Weeknd. Hold on, I want to read Jacob's comment. I mean, I know that we'll be browsing shops and randomly might stumble upon new stuff, but I guess now the equivalent to that for people just stream would be suggested. I guess suggested, but so many people are kind of hit. I mean,
it's the most evil thing, the suggested place.
Yeah, I know. Most of us are we're not probably even on that bag because we know that this is like we're being fed stuff.
But I think sorry, Fred, to interrupt. I think still, despite all this latest suggestions, I think word of mouth is still a big thing. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially at a young age.
And then also like for small labels. For small label stuff, I think like End of Veneer in Austin, for instance, like they know that they have a small label that has like a rabid fan base, even if it's they're going to buy 10 copies and they're going to sell those 10. So whatever release that label. So I think label, even if it's a tiny little micro label, matters. But weird kind of just an observation I made with a new major release. So The Weeknd comes out with a new record. The Weeknd, for those of you that haven't listened to anything since the 70s or whatever, is a contemporary R&B artist who I would say had a major role in the kind of dream-like sound that R&B would take on in the last, 10 or so years.
Yeah.
The Weeknd's massive now. I haven't really been interested in his content for the last, 6-7 years. Yeah. But this new record, I think it's a good record. I listened to it. It's a cohesive piece of, music from start to finish. I think it's a good record. So I'm like, all right, I wonder if it's been. What would you consider The Weeknd, CJ? Anyway, I'm like, so let me comment on this aspect of major label releases real quick. So I'm like, I wonder if this thing's been pressed on vinyl. I go and I look, it's been pressed. Oh, by the way, this is an hour-long album. It is a long record.
Yeah.
I go and I look to see if it's been pressed on vinyl. It's like $18. I'm like, okay, it's a major label release, but 18 for a double LP, that seems a little low. And The Weeknd certainly works in the realm of R&B, pop R&B, whatever you want to call it, but it's definitely not just like straight.
R&B is probably the most popular type of music.
Yeah. So anyway, I go and look it up. It's been pressed for $19 or whatever, and I look at the track list. The track list is like 8 of the 22 songs. I've never seen that done before, where a major label puts out something, they just don't press the record straight up. They press like an EP version of it. So now I think all the fans are pissy.
Some people are doing it. So, for example,
Beyonce did that on her first version.
Yeah, but for example, SZA, she just re-released her record from a couple of years ago, right? And she called like deluxe. She added more stuff from the previous one, and she's already hinting that she's going to add even more to the record.
I've seen them do that where they add tracks later, but I've not ever seen them just half release a record for its physical.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit odd.
Yeah, I've never seen that done before. I've seen them go back and re-add stuff, then they get the collectors and the real diehard fans, but not just, here's your album release, we cut half the album out, take the, big tracks.
Let's leave off.
I'm assuming people are going to wait around
without you.
Yeah, and I think with the pop now, and most people here are like older already, they're just kind of being dismissive of pop or Weeknd or whoever. Think about it, when you were young, the kind of stuff that you like was considered pop. People were very dismissive of it, and now they became classics. It's just how time moves, guys. Just open your minds.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, The Weeknd.
I think
that's a whole different discussion, but that recent record, I genuinely think is a good record, and I've been very hesitant.
I need you to check that out. So, for example, today, Maz, you should check those guys out. It's a UK band. It's called Squid. Are you aware of them?
Yeah,
it's their third record. It's selling very fast. The CD is already gone for Bandcamp.
I haven't heard it. I've seen the cover. I've seen the name.
It's called Cowards.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrific. They sound like they went to the studio. They had no plan, and each song is totally different from. It's very surprising. It keeps you listening to it. It's amazing record. Squid. Check it out.
Squid.
Yeah, Squid. Yeah.
Like the animal. The guy did the. Did you hear the solo release, Felipe, from what's his name?
This?
No, it's not.
That's the previous one, Mazzy. The new one has like a scorpion. Yes, that's it. Yes.
Oh, cool.
Listen to this record. This is really revealing, and I think it's really great. Those guys are really adding new stuff.
I'll stream and listen to it in my car on Apple. Then
I think it's worth getting a copy of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta roll, guys.
All right, see you later. See you
later.
After this, Squid.
Squid, they're good.
Hey, I'm probably gonna go in like 20 minutes, Felipe.
Yeah, I'm gonna go because I'm tired of this abuse that Rob gave me.
What you are getting exactly what you deserve. So calm down.
No, but yeah, there's a lot of great stuff. I mean, Cellar Music today, they dropped like 3 or 4 records.
That's Squid.
Yeah.
Whoa. It sounds like it's playing at the wrong speed.
You like Mezzy. Don't judge by the first track because
of course I listen to it. I like
every track is a new thing. It's crazy.
Okay.
The record is crazy.
It's not like the Squid Games or what is it called?
No. Whoever who also dropped a beautiful record today was Sharon Van Etten, which is probably one of her top works. I think
I've tried to get into her. I haven't heard a new album. Every once in a while,
So the new one is different because she's actually co-wrote with a band. It's not her record by itself. So it has a very different sound and approach, which I really appreciate. I really liked it.
Have you heard of the band Geese? Speaking of animal, do you know Geese, Felipe?
No.
Oh, okay. Their frontman just came out with a weird solo record. I've been listening to a lot of new music lately, actually.
This
just
came
not
out
jazz.
a year ago. I know it's not jazz. This came out about a year ago, but I've been just getting into it. It's Vera Sola. It's her second album. It's Americana, folky, that kind of thing, right? To me, it's as if Lana Del Rey had a double espresso and had the band Calexico back her. It's that kind of, southwestern landscape stuff. And she happens to be the daughter, get this, of Dan Aykroyd and Donna Dixon.
Nepotism.
But she's really good. She's got kind of this deeper side of voice. But again, that Lana Del Rey thing, but not poppy. No, she's not poppy, but it's really good. So it's called, this is Vera Soul. Came out a year ago. She has a new EP, I guess, coming out with the Milk Carton Kids, if you like them. They're kind of folky.
I will check it out.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mazzy, they're doing another Fire Relief concert with the Milk Carton Kids, but it's being headlined by Emmylou Harris here in LA.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. Okay, you brought up Bandcamp today, and today's the day. Now, this is the thing. I think I sent it to the group. Okay? I suggest everyone who gets Bandcamp for $23 or for $20 plus tax, right? Good music. Only available today for Bandcamp for LA, right?
Oh, nice.
23, a download only. It's 5 hours of music. And it's called To Lift Los Angeles, Good Music to Lift Los Angeles. And it's got like demos and live things from REM, from the Dawes, from Death Camp, from Nico Case, from Jeff Tweedy, War on Drugs.
I will put the link down.
MJ Letterman, Courtney Barnett, Real Estate.
Can you put a link in the chat?
I sent it to our chat. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know how to do it in the chat.
Right there.
Send it to our group chat.
Just go on Bandcamp and search for good music. You're gonna
find music to lift LA. For $23, you get 5 hours of music. You can just put it on the background. It's got a good vibe to it. Support LA.
Beautiful.
Only today. So take $23. Buy one less, whatever you buy for $23.
Espresso.
Hold on, Mazzy.
One less coffee.
So,
that's a pound of coffee.
Can I ask everyone at large? Mazzy wants me to not buy my heart medicine. He wants me to buy this record instead.
Okay, I'm not going to say that. I'm too cynical for y'all. Y'all are too good-hearted, and that's good.
No, believe me.
No heart medicine for me today.
We're not based on current events. We're not good-hearted anymore.
Okay, so just to kind of wrap up tonight, I don't know if you guys thought, probably not. I wasn't here at the very beginning. You guys mention anything about the record store day titles? I haven't checked in. They haven't.
We did talk about them. Rob, actually, despite the chaos, Rob was leading discussion early in the stream. We discussed.
But he said he'd wait for you.
But I said I would wait for you.
To go over all of them. Yeah.
Thank you. So what is it? I just saw there's a Mingles record and Nathan Davis. That's all I know about.
I have it up, but do you want me to show it?
Yeah.
Share the screen, Rob. Let's go through this thing.
Yeah, I would love to be as cynical as you can, Brett.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to buy any of them. Sanders, I'll wait, and I'll buy the Sanders at some point.
I'll definitely not do a record store.
It's not exclusive. Let me get rid of this.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that big enough?
So what I can see from here already, that Aha record, I think they put out a couple of years ago. I have it. The demos for Hunting High Low, Rhino put it a couple of years ago.
Okay, this is the techno group Air, not the
not Threadgill.
Not Threadgill. This Chet Baker is actually a promotion because actually this guy is Grover. He's the guy who's in charge of those Warner Brothers Linkin Park one steps.
Okay.
But he put out an excellent version of Grant Green's Sunday Morning. It was like a tone poet about 6 or 7 years ago. So that's from his company.
That's the same guy. Okay.
In May, they're putting out a 2 LP of the soundtrack from the movie, the documentary, with all this extra stuff. So this is a 12-inch kind of promoting it. Okay? If that makes sense. This Count Basie is the best of the Roulette years and it's being Rhino, so it should be pretty good. We'll go down. You could tell me to stop.
Bluey.
I don't know what this is. I know he's the British jazz dude, right? I don't know what this is though. Does anyone?
No, I don't
know.
Keep going.
All right.
You gotta go. We're only on the B's right now.
Yeah, there's not.
Don't go.
It feels like there is less releases for this record store day than previous year.
Jazz releases.
Oh, no. Carcass record.
Total releases.
It's a really good list this year.
Selena Cruz and Willie Colon. I don't know any of that.
Cypress Hill.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, Bad Not Good. We missed a Bad Not Good release.
This is Joey is putting this out through Real Gum Music. LP of the Puzzle record.
1,700 copies.
Okay, this I'm getting Happy Girl Nathan Davis from MPS, but it says first, so there's 1,800 available later.
Oh, Deicide, Once Upon the Cross. I know that's not jazz related, but that's a hard record to get. And
what is it? Right here.
RSD first means they'll re-release.
Oh, this side, yeah.
But it's Real Gum Music. They'll put out. It'll be a color.
It's the same.
Oh, thank God. So I can get it soon, though.
Yeah,
that means I can buy that record.
Is that 80s this side?
Yeah, it's early. It's their second full
length? What kind of music is it? What kind of music?
Oh, it's death metal.
Yeah, death metal.
Yeah.
I've been wanting that record forever. I'm actually kind of stoked now. All right.
Here's a live recording. I know there's another record from the Blue Morocco. Was it in the Bronx? I don't know.
Can we go to the Bad Not Good title for people real quick? Bad Not Good, for those of you that don't know, Canadian jazz trio making contemporary jazz.
Where's that at?
Their recent record with what's her name? Baby Rose.
Is it on this list?
Yeah, it's on the list. It's Bad Not Good B.
Oh yeah, it's true, Fred. Actually, Baby Rose just put out an EP of her new music. It's even better than her first record.
So the one with the Bad Not Good Baby Rose record I thought was excellent. I loved that record.
Where are they at? I don't see.
Just type in Control F and then hit Bad Not Good.
Apparently it's the fart one. Whatever that means.
Bad. It's all one word. All one word. Bad.
It is?
Yeah, bad. Just type in Bad Not Good. There you go. Brazil 45 box set volume 6.
So that's Mr. Bongo. They make those box sets every once in a while.
Huh. Why are they on a Brazilian?
Oh, they do a lot of Brazilian releases, Mr. Bongo.
No, right, but why is Bad Not Good? By the way, Bad Not Good's Late Night Tales comp, where they kind of put together a mixtape, has a lot of Brazilian music on it. So they must like Brazilian music.
Maybe they're just playing with other guys, just like Jazz is Dead kind of stuff.
I'm going to go down here and fix this. I hate all these pages.
Yeah, 250, yes. Go for it.
Okay. So we're getting back. We were down here until
we're on the next page. Yeah, sorry.
All right, Blur, James Bond, David, Jeff Bridges.
We were on the D's. Churches?
Right Cooter.
Fuck right Cooter. Nathan Davis. Okay, we were here. Dawkins. The Kenny Dorham. That's what I was talking about, this live record. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Bill Evans, another Bill Evans in Finland.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 2 LP.
Oh, good. I'm glad they're releasing Fleetwood Mac's Fleetwood Mac because that's.
I think this 64
It's
bill.
a picture. It's a picture disc for you.
I think that they'll have a 64s with Gary Peacock.
You know, I tell you, as much as a lot of people hate picture discs, somebody's buying them.
Oh yeah,
They're collectors. They're collectors items.
Yeah, but they're silly.
Hey, Fred, your album's coming out. Fred again.
I love the pop Fleetwood
And
Mac.
Nathan
I just
David.
don't know who's going and buying a picture disc on Record Store Day. Freddie Gibbs, you only die once. RST first.
It's a first.
4,000.
So it's, yeah.
Astrid Gilberto.
Goblin, Grateful Dead, Vince Guaraldi. This is an exclusive. So I think it's a comp of songs from Charlie Brown.
Okay.
And then
Kraft is
more
actually,
Charlie Brown.
No. Well, see, this is actually from the animated show because Lee Mendelsohn produced all the animated shows. So that's a label. And then there's Vince Guaraldi that Kraft's putting out, alternative takes. So there's two.
Francois Hardy would be good, but I have so much.
Someone said they wish that Mr. Bongo would be more transparent. I mean, yeah, I agree, but a lot of the Mr. Bongo stuff that comes out, it's like, how can you get it otherwise? How are you
going to...
Yeah.
Mazzy, since you're on the omnivore gravy train, we'll get both this. Okay. With Francois Hardy.
I have all her Light in the Attic stuff. I love her stuff.
Well, this is omnivore. We got to support omnivore.
All things must pass.
But it's a Zoetrope discs.
All right,
Hindu Love Gods. Hindu Love Gods is interesting because it's Warren Zevon backed by REM album.
Yeah.
And the only
Freddie Hubbard record.
Another blue Morocco. It's Freddie Hubbard live, 3 LPs.
When is that recorded? What year is that?
I think 67 is what I remember.
Yeah, that's all Zabs. We're gonna find out very soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Miles Davis Ice. What the hell is this? Ice-T in the Miles Davis Hall. Okay.
Miles Davis on ice?
No, he was at a location. It makes it seem like he's involved. Here's a Mahalia Jackson, Mazzy.
I love Mahalia Jackson. Okay.
About the Top Secret soundtrack. That's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
Leanne LaHavas, she's great.
Geddy Lee.
Rhino, it's a 12-inch.
Jay Lenderman.
John and Yoko, there you go, Mazzy.
Yeah, I saw that.
And Rob, I don't know if you did that, but if you sort by label, I think there's like 5 pages of Rhino.
You know, you should go to. You can sort by the photograph of the cover.
We're already
when I click on it, it screws everything up. Okay, so there's a Mingus in Argentina.
But there's a grid of just the covers.
I understand.
Yeah, okay.
Do you want me to do?
We are in
no. We're too deep into this thing.
Yeah.
Johnny Hooker. Okay.
Right. Mal.
You were a Mingus.
So the Mingus live in Argentina. This is from 1977. So it's very late. Yeah.
The meters.
Okay, get back to Candid. Fred was talking about Candid.
Mm-hmm.
The Mingus at Monterey, which is a good live concert. Double album. All right. Thelonious Monk, the Live at the Club. It's a 2 LP. I did read it's digital. They made a point of saying it's digital.
Who cares if it's digital?
Well, I'm just saying.
There's another Resonance set right there. Wes Montgomery.
Yes.
It's a single LP. Maybe it's extra stuff. But they already put out Live at the Penthouse record.
Jerry Mulligan.
Oh, yep. Okay, so this is the every year Kraft does a mono version of a record. This is mono.
And then OJC is going to be a stereo, very likely.
Yeah. So I already have a 60s pressing of this with a different cover.
That's a terrific
record. Mono. I think
it is a good record.
Mono copy. Yeah.
See, but that's the thing. I mean, they're out there. That record's out there. It's not like you got to run up to records today and fight the Swift fans.
Actually, the old OJC version's still in print. So
yeah.
That record.
Papa Roach. I know Rob will be up there for that one.
Bale Saints.
Bear.
Soul Beatings.
Okay, Work in Progress of iRobot. That seems interesting.
Yeah, Bale Sense is much better.
Pixies.
Wouldn't want to be like you.
A live Prince record, 3 LPs. Wow.
Prince record's good. I found out from John. It's in the the last box that came out. So
hey Rob, there's a Rembrandts from Omnivore. Do they play the Friends song?
Yeah, so the Friends song's on this. So actually, my friend Brad is responsible for the Rembrandts recording that song. They were looking for a band to record it. He recommended them.
Gotcha.
So,
well, there's a Ramones local live, which is amazing. I think that was their last live record.
And you know what, Felipe? Literally tonight, I was here for you.
Oh, thank you, Rob.
I like how the Residents releases.
Are you stuck in second gear, Rob?
Okay. Yes. Hey, Fred.
Wait.
Okay, Fred. Please tell me you know who the Rocket Fire Explosion is.
I don't, but one thing, I like how the Residents releases have become self-aware. Leftovers again.
You forgot.
They're just putting out the scraps for those.
You forgot one of the greatest records ever, Metal Machine Music by Lou Reed. Now they changed the cover, so people are all pissy because they changed the cover. But that's an influential record, whether you like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's go back to the Rocket Fire Explosion.
Okay, what is this?
Fred, there's a documentary about the Rocket Fire Explosion. Showbiz Pizza, they were the animatronic band at that restaurant. So they have an album coming out, and the documentary about them is awesome. This guy spent all his money and bought the whole outfitted animatronics, put it in his garage, and would set up different certain songs they didn't record, and he had it all set up. It's pretty cool. Watch the documentary. I think it's on YouTube.
Sanders.
Pharaoh Sanders that's coming out. It's exclusive. So $1,500, you got to get it. Get it off your ass. All right. Another Gil Scott-Heron seems to be a mainstay on Record Store Day.
Yeah, well, because he's got so much material.
So you know who owns the BYG catalog? Charlie has been quietly doing a really good job of reissuing those titles.
Yeah.
Brigham Young Group.
So I don't know what it means. That's whoever technically owns them.
Who that is.
But this is they're taking these two, which were two separate records, and putting them together. So that's
okay.
Sly and the Family Stone, Snoop Dogg,
Ralph Stanley. That's a good one.
There's some Sun Ra stuff. Who also has a lot of.
So I showed it earlier. That record I have both volume 1 and volume 2. They're putting out as a 6 LP set. There's only 800 of them, and it says first, so it should be available after.
The other one's Modern Harmonic. They usually that's Sundays. The offshoot of Sundays. They do good stuff.
Yeah, so it's a first. They should
the
have.
Slint album was remixes or something.
Talking Head Live.
Thievery Corporation. That's a good record. That Thievery Corporation.
Yeah, their stuff is expensive, isn't it?
I don't know, but I forgot their last one. I love that record. It's with the red cover. I have a CD of that.
Yeah.
Toad the Red Sprocket. Okay, and here's
Passengers. Passengers. That soundtrack is hard to find and expensive.
That's a good record. That's basically Eno and U2, but you don't. You don't have Bono sing except for one track.
No, it does. It has Miss Sarajevo.
Actually, it's on the wall at Safari. It's very expensive.
How much do they want, Rob? Because there's one here as well.
It was over. I think it was $150.
Yeah, that's the price. Yeah, exact same thing.
All right, here's your bad, not good, and then.
So yeah, I think they compiled it.
All right, so this is unusual. Blue Note is putting out a Record Store Day exclusive, and it's a comp.
Yeah. Also, another nice comp from Soul Jazz. Soul Jazz has some nice comps coming. There's a great label from the UK.
So, and Giles Peterson presents International Anthem. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm going to come back and click on that because I'd like to see what's on this. Mm-hmm. And then Jazz Dispensary.
Yeah, they always do one.
Yeah. So these are either the Soul Jazz compilations. They were right there.
Eddie Vedder. Tom Waits.
So that Verve record is really rare. It costs a fortune. So
which record?
The Verve one. The Verve one.
Oh.
Well, Tom Waits is only a 7-inch, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is a first, so not exclusive. This War, Why Can't We Be Friends? A 3 LP.
What that is, they did that last year, I think. It's basically a lot of outtakes and extra stuff from one album. It's like an expanded dig.
Willie Dixon, Harry
Clarence
Potter's
White.
contracts.
I'm in a different direction than you.
Warren Zevon.
Those are the 3 records he did on Giant Records.
Let's go back to that Giles Peterson. Let me click on that.
You know what I hate is the super inflated price of all the record store day releases. Even back when I started collecting, what was that, 13 years ago or something? It would be like $50. Yeah, it's like a $50. So I can't imagine what it's like now. That would stop me alone from going in right now. Too broke.
So Giles Peterson is doing a comp of international anthem stuff, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm heading out. Okay. I'm tired of Rob now, so it was nice seeing you, Felipe, and
nice seeing you, Mazzy. I sent you a message on Instagram.
Okay, I'll look at it tomorrow, and
You're disgusting, Mazzy.
Yeah,
it's an apology for his rude guest behavior.
Thank you for being you.
I'll see you, Mazzy.
See you, Mazzy.
All right. So that was some quick go through. I'm sure when the
there's a lot of stuff.
You guys are going to do a video on your own, right? With all this.
Yes. We're already coordinating with Zev to do the video and everything, and get some samples to see what's going to happen. I mean, that's great stuff. I think there's stuff for everybody. And I think record store day is for everyone, but when I see like seasoned collectors complaining about record store day, I think that's not for them. That's for dragging new people to the store. I think dragging crowds. Of course, they're going to do every year the Fleetwood Mac rumors, of course, because they're going to drag people to the store, guys. And it's not for you.
But
forget about it.
But does Fleetwood? Okay, I know. I am the collector every year that's just like, I have no interest in record store day.
Yeah.
But is Fleetwood Mac rumors dragging the new collector to the store?
Still is popular, yeah. People look at
the pop years were great. I love the Fleetwood Mac.
Can I tell you something?
It is a perfect record, like it or not.
My friend told me something that Target made a deal to do their own exclusive version of Rumors on gold vinyl. You know how many copies they ordered?
How many?
Like 50,000 copies.
Hey, listen.
Yeah,
you got to own it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's the chain, but
it might be 100,000. It was crazy amount.
I can tell you this: a lot of my friends just recently, got into record collecting. Friends that I would have not ever thought, they never cared about me collecting records. They always thought it was just strange, and they got into it because of things like Taylor Swift's limited pressings. A lot of contemporary hip hop artists like limited pressings and things like that. So, and I never thought I'd see them collect. So I don't know, I guess.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, I think this is awesome.
I mean, like this year's, okay, I'm not talking politics, but people have to manage their money better. So could you imagine a group of friends saying, come over, let's listen to records, stuff like that, instead of going out and spending shitloads of money drinking and
for sure.
all that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, and those friends, this is a side thought. I was thinking the other day, I was at one of their houses and I was like, I got to get you a Spin Clean. I bet Spin Clean sales are just skyrocketing because, your first record cleaner, you got to get a Spin Clean. I think it does a good job for the price.
Hey, I picked this up and didn't realize it had a horrible warp. So I'm using this flattener and so far it's on its third pass. It looks like it's getting the warp out.
That's cool.
Well, what did we learn tonight, Felipe? Did we learn that the regular jazz bombs are just a much
they're busy people, highly requested, and so they got to do their things. They're very busy people with the request.
I might stream for a little bit after this, Roberto. Maybe we can talk about Chromacopia. I don't want to make Felipe go long here.
No, I think we should be wrapping up soon. It was a long week, actually.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff. You want to see something cool that came in today? I got a Street Blind Mice here. They're reissue those. Ayako Hosokawa, Impacts put one of her records out as well. This is extremely well recorded, and she sings like heavenly. Some of those are available on Dusty Groove. They're being repressed and reissued, so this just got at the end of the day here, and I'm really happy.
Nice.
CD here, yeah. And
is that a brand new CD pressing or?
Yes, it's 2024, Rob. You can see those are on. If you look for this record, for example, on.
But they're doing a hard push with vinyl. They're putting out.
There's a double LP too, but I paid $20 for the CD, and the double LP is like $55.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I've been very space conscious these times. I don't want to be buying more cubes. You know, I think it's enough. I don't want to live in a record store.
Hey, I made a big move.
I do want to live in a record store.
I have room in my kitchen, and I have shelves. I'm making a big move to clear a lot of the vinyl out of this room.
Mm-hmm.
And so I made a big move.
You're going to get bacon grease on your records, though, Rob.
No. I don't know how you cook, but it's not like the... I don't cook
That's
like
how I cook the best I can. But I don't know that I would put the shelves in the kitchen.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Okay.
It's not to get a majority of my collection out. It's like because half of what I have I sell, so to get all that stuff out. Keep it more organized.
Yeah, no, I have my room. I have my shelves. That's it. I'm not buying more shelves. This is my shelves. Whatever, from time to time, I'm gonna empty them, and I like to keep some free space, and that's it.
I think next weekend, me and Mazzy might do a co-auction. So get ready for that, people. Hey, listen. What happened to the old Roberto who used to pay to ask or say shit?
I have a plastic man.
That's a $5 remark.
I have a plastic. Most of my records don't smell unless they just kind of smell old. That old kind of old house mildewy kind of. But I have a Plastic Man release, and it still smells like weed. I don't smoke weed. I've owned it for like 4 years. So whoever was smoking around that Plastic Man record, really, I mean, I don't know where the record was sitting, but that thing kept its scent.
Hey, listen, hold on, Carlos. You buy records from me. Can you attest that they smell fine? They don't smell like codfish.
Well, right now, we'll see after the move. After the big Calax move,
everything's fine. I'm a big sprayer of air freshener. I'm a big air freshener spray. Plus, I don't cook stinky food, man. Not a lot of fish cooking. Listen, the record cleaners and the shit. Hey, Jacob, I do have my older Humming Guru, so let me know.
So did you notice any major differences, Rob?
Yeah, the newer Humming Guru, it's better. I don't know the stimulation ohms of this one. Feels like it's a better ultrasonic cleaning.
Okay.
It's a better. It always felt on the old one, the blowing when it dried, it didn't work in sync with it. Now it feels like everything works together. Does that make sense? Yes. It's a better machine. It works better. They are such a good company. They learned what doesn't work, and they made improvements to make a better machine. There are a couple stupid things about it, like that lid converting into a dry rack. That is dumb. It's cheesy.
So the ones they have on their website now, is that just the new one, or did they market it as the two?
So here's what I imagine, and I don't know it's true. The original Humming Guru, whatever version that is, they probably did make improvements, because I think I probably had part of the first run of them, maybe a second run. And to their credit, like I had to replace a motor in it. The motor conked out. I'm sure the Humming Guru's original base model that they make now, they made general improvements to just make sure it's made from good parts and stuff.
So wait, now you have the Nova. You have the Nova now.
Yeah, the Nova's twice is like $750, I think. Well, I didn't buy it. They sent a review copy for Jim and me to review. And I'm not going to think they're not going to ask for it back. So, because several people in the YouTube vinyl world have gotten copy of versions to promote. But it is still at that price, there's not another ultrasonic cleaner that can touch it. For what you get, and more importantly, the customer service. Whoever runs that company, they should get an award for customer service. They are just a good company. So,
where are they based at, Rob?
They're Chinese. They're from China. So, they're good.
That's good. It's good to know.
I think this remark just seems like you have a chip on your shoulder. If someone gave you something that did the best job possible, you would have to admit it's good. So, but if you don't want to spend the money, that's fine. I'm just saying, I'm a high level person. I clean like 10 records a day. So wouldn't you want to hear from someone who's a very hardcore cleaner and seller that this thing works perfect? It's worth every penny. That doesn't mean anything anymore. And then hearing that the company really highly supports their product with great customer service, you don't hear that anymore, right? You don't hear companies that give good customer service.
Just talk to our bot.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
They listen. It's a big deal. You send an email to them, you get a response within 24 hours. That's huge. I'm praising them.
No, for sure. I think it's quite fair to say, and it's important to recognize. Also, I think in any field, anything like could be hi-fi records or whatever. Yeah, people just tend to be dismissive of things they don't know very well, or they don't afford, don't want to. That's okay. If you don't want it, that's fine. Just don't make less of it.
Big E, and I pulled this out of a dollar bin. It was filthy, and it cleaned it to as good as it could be. Big E, and if you're interested in this, let me know. This classical record. It's a 2i. It's not a 6i. But the Nova, is it faster? How about this? The Nova gives you choice of speed, which you didn't get with the original one.
What does speed mean? The spinning speed?
Cleaning.
The cycle?
Speed is wrong. Cleaning time.
The cycle. Okay.
Cycle.
Oh, that's good to know.
And the drain, there were issues with the original model and the draining into the holder. There'd be some changes I would make to this machine. I don't like that you have to manually pour the water back into the tank yourself, and they give you another device, this little plastic piece to stop splashing. I think that's stupid. I think they should make a little perch that you could just put the tank on and let it empty itself without you holding it. So,
okay, so you put your we can get into it later, but
you could run in the old one.
You run the dirty record. You run the dirty record in the ultrasonic.
Yes.
And then where is it rinsing at?
You would have to, if you mean you put surfactant in the water and you want to rinse that off?
So what are you putting in the water?
I don't put anything. I just use straight distilled water.
Yeah. Okay. Good. But then
I do pre-treat the record before I put it in there.
Okay. You don't throw
So I have a solution that has alcohol in it and a splash of surfactant, and I spray it on the record and I wipe it off manually. Then I put it in the ultrasonic. It was just straight distilled water.
So the ultrasonic is your final process then.
Yeah.
So if you were a physical cleaner,
but I'm
like
not scrubbing the record or doing anything drastic to it. I'm just spraying it and wiping it off.
Hmm.
I mean, here's the easy thing to say. Anyone who's bought records from me, I clean them in the humming brew through my process. A majority of people, I never really hear when people have issues, which is few and far between. I think people are happy with the cleaning experience.
Yeah. I mean,
I do it in nude, Roberto. And again, this is a $5 question. $5, please.
Yeah, Roberto didn't chip in. I mean, I think he was just waiting for Chris or Mike. I think he's got some personal preferences there. But yeah, I mean, it's a process that's tried and true. I mean, you use sonication for many things to clean stuff in a flying slab, so it kind of works, guys.
Actually, Fred's a good person to be here because we had started our journey together with the DIY ultrasonic machine.
I have done my fair share of different cleaners. I have not done the high end, like the Audio Desk or the what was the one that was competing? Human Guru came in and they were competing with the degritter. I haven't done a degritter.
Well, when Danny Kaye lived in LA, he had a degritter, and that thing is perfect because you don't have to pour the water out; it does it itself, and that thing cleans a record spectacularly. But it's a $3,000 machine, right?
Are they still making them? Yeah, they're still making them. Yeah, $3,280.
No, I mean I've had a manual cleaning setup, so no, it's not it's faster to use an ultrasonic machine. Look, I'm pretty sensible, and Elliot Cruz is the guy who lives and dies by his cleaning method. If I thought manual cleaning would clean the record better, I'd still be doing it.
No, it does not, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would be. I honestly am not gonna.
There's no be silly.
And it's not efficient. Again, I'm in a high volume record situation. So.
Yeah, the Focals are nice headphones.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Brad, which model is that?
I don't know how to pronounce it actually. Batiste or Bathis? I'm not sure how they pronounce it.
Batiste, yes.
Batiste. Yeah, so I actually had the model. I got these, and then I had a part. I actually just recently dealt with their customer service. So for those of you that are curious about aftercare for products that you buy, they were very nice. Something was rattling in one of the ear cups as I was walking, like in airports and stuff, and it really bugged me. And I was just past the warranty window too, so that's. And they were immediately like, "Yeah, send them to us." And then I sent them, and I sent them to the repair place, and they just sent me a new pair. But I've really loved it, and I love the quality too. I mean, Bluetooth for me, when I'm traveling and things like that, is not a downside. I'm not going to carry around a DAC. You see the people with the little Dragonfly DACs and stuff. I'm just going to bring a pair of headphones. So, yeah, I've really loved them, and actually their app that tests your hearing and then adjusts for it, it'll bump up the high end wherever you need it and stuff. I've used that as well and really like the results. So I've loved them. And by the way, quick spec, I have a friend that has these. After I bought them, he bought them, his brother bought them. He abuses the hell out of his, and he hasn't had any issues. So I might have just had an off pair that I was very light on mine. I never abused them. He'll like work out in his, and I mean, he's tough on him, and I must have just had a strange pair. But other than that, I haven't ever heard of anyone having issues. I'm sure if you went online, you could find some people complaining, but I think they're wonderful. They're the best Bluetooth. I've had the Sony XM4s. I
was going to ask you, what do you like them that's better than the XM4s? Because I have a pair of XM4s for Bluetooth stuff, not for listening, but I really love the Sonys.
Yeah. So, and also for me, like I was walking around campus a lot when I was teaching, and yeah, Bluetooth is just a lot more convenient. The XM4s I found needed a lot of equalization to get them to sound the way that I needed them to, especially in when you're killing background noise. Whatever the mode is, what's the word I'm looking for, y'all? It's noise cancellation mode.
Noise cancellation.
I needed to equalize them quite a bit and tinker with them. I didn't hate them. I just found they had a stranger sound, and I find these to be much more airy. They're not an open back headphone, so like I have the HD600 super neutral open back, but I'm not going to wear an open back when people can hear your music. But they sound closer to me an open back, kind of more airy, up high than the XM4s do.
Yeah. Yes, Roberto, I have received mine. I like them. Yeah. There's the Mezi. They just put out a new mid of the line open back. It's called the 105 Airs because they have the 109s Pro. They're the top of their open back, and they have a closed back, which is a 90 classic, which is really good. But now they came up with middle of the road open back, and I bought a pair. Love it. Which I really think is cool about the Mezi ones is that all parts are user replaceable. Everything has a screw. You can just, if anything fails, you can just order a new one, and the cushions, everything. I think it's cool. But the focals, I know they're really top of the line as well.
Yeah, I've never.
I'm going to take off. You got this by yourself, Felipe?
See you, Rob. Yeah, we're going to wrap up in a couple minutes too. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Take it easy. Right. Bye, everyone.
See you later. Thank you, Rob.
Do you listen a lot on headphones, Felipe?
I had the Sonys, but I would always use them with my cell phone. But I really wanted some. It's good to have a headphone. Sometimes I just sit on the couch and So I decided to go for these ones. I was waiting because it just came out now before Christmas. I was waiting for the Christmas returns to buy an open box, and I got a good deal. I'm happy with it. It's really nice, transparent sound. I like this room feeling of the open back. Really, it's my first open back, and I'm very happy about it.
Yeah, I went through a few years of pretty heavy headphone buying and listening. At the time, I was listening a lot, and I was living in a smaller place, and I didn't want to wake up my partner, so I was listening quite often on headphones. I had listening on headphones is actually what got me into woodworking. Is I wanted a little cart that was just big enough for a Technics 1200 that could hold LPs below it and store headphone amplifiers. So that was the first thing I ever built, and I went through a pretty heavy headphone phase. And I still, I don't have beef. I know there's people that for some reason have ire for headphones, but
no, they're really great. And I have to say, I go to Hi-Fi Show every year. There's a really big one here in Florida. It's actually in a couple of weeks. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be skipping the stream. And when you listen to those like $5,000-$10,000 headphones, it's just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. It's such a huge difference, especially some European brands that I never even heard of. They're pretty amazing. But
I'd love to go to one of those and sample headphones. That'd be great.
No, it's cool. There's one in New York, the Head-Fi one. It's big, it's just headphones, and they're taking more space. Although I think now, in Hi-Fi shows, turntables are in most of the rooms now. They were not in the rooms about like 5-7 years ago, which I think is really, really quite interesting thing to see.
Head-Fi, that community too is just
and I got mine from headphones.com, which I found to be having great support, great service. It's a great website to try headphones for the ones that are interested in buying headphones. I highly recommend headphones.com. All right, so Fred, I think you're going to wrap up ours. If you want to do your own thing afterwards.
Yeah, mine will be a lot more loose, wet and wild over there. So I might stream for a little bit.
I'm gonna be watching you. Okay, I need to grab a bite and crash. Okay.
All right. Good night, Felipe.
All right. So thank you guys for watching. Next week, I promise, Chris and Mike will be here, and I'll take off. Okay. Thank you so much, Fred. Nice seeing you as always. Okay. Thank you.